What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love, much love, much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building right now. Salute to everybody that's here. Shout out to all you visionaries. Much love to you guys, man. Shout out to everyone who supports Sheep Stay Sleep TV. We are back with another great show today. We will be doing part three. What you guys asked for. I got a couple of messages saying that they would like to see a part three. I also went back over yesterday's show and I was checking out the chat room and I see that a couple of you people have brought up this Jim Jones situation. So, of course, other YouTubers spoke about it. And when I went and checked it out, I'm like, yeah, I see why y'all asked for part three. So, of course, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who supports Sheep Stay Sleep TV. It's very much appreciated. We are back with another show. And of course, I'm your host, DS1 Ross, man. I appreciate all the love and the support. So y'all get on up in here and hit that like button and share today's show. Hit the like button and share today's show because we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it, man. Shout out to everyone in the building. Y'all give me 1 second. I need to get my agua and then we will start today's show. But while I do that, make sure y'all hit the like button and make sure y'all share the show. Salute to everybody that's here right now. Okay, we are back. We are back. Shout out to everyone in the building. Shout out to everyone. Let me get over here to the chat room and give some shout outs before we start today's show. Shout out to Miss Garnetta Brown. She said, ready for the message. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to Just Ask Shaw. Shout out to you, Shaw. Appreciate your support. Salute, salute, salute to Shango Zulu. Salute, my brother. Appreciate your support as usual, bro. Shout out to Self Improvement Channel. Welcome back. I appreciate your support. Willie Rivers, salute, salute. Peace and love to you, man. Shout out to Miss Shar Newsom. What's going on, Miss Lady? Glad you're in the chat. Catch a live show. Appreciate your support. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Sutton. Salute, my brother. Salute, my brother. Salute, salute. Shout out to my man, Sir O in the building. Salute. Shout out to the Villain Sphere. Salute to my day one brother, 5150 brother, the Book of Ronan. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. Y'all make sure y'all get over there and support my brother, the Book of Ronan. If y'all want to listen to any content from a military vet, you need any tips on working out, dieting, or anything like that, y'all go check out my brother, the Book of Ronan, man. Salute. Shout out to Fierce Soul in the building. Salute. Salute to you, cuzzo. Salute, salute. Jeff Reviews. Salute, family. And much love to you, man. As always, you know I appreciate your support, little cuz. Shout out to Bob. Salute, Bob. Good to see you, man. Good to see you back, bro. Shout out to Larry Vaughn in the building. Peace, my brother. I appreciate your support as always, man. 1G. Glad you was able to catch it live, bro. Shout out to 1G, man. 1G is definitely a great supporter. Ever since he found my channel, He's been supporting from day one. He tries to catch the lives, and he always, gives input about the content. I appreciate that, 1G. He was one of the guys who insisted on I do a part 3. And shout out to you, 1G, as always, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Miss Angie B in the building. Much love, Miss Angie, always coming through and holding down the Chizat. Shout out to you, Miss Angie. Salute the double C in the building. Salute my brother. It's Akuma. Peace, fam. Peace to you, man. Shout out to everyone in the building. Y'all see today's show, part 3. Part 3. And of course, y'all know that when you do a finale, everything must come together. Everything must come together. So we have part 3. Rapper Jim Jones wears a blouse. Rapper Jim Jones wears a blouse. This is what happens when men conform. Rapper Jim Jones wears a blouse. Now, how ironic is this? How ironic is this? Because I just spoke on a couple of streams ago. I just spoke on these rappers and their publicity stunts. And why they do publicity stunts. You see? Because they create these stunts and they do these types of things to let the people who sign their checks, to let them know that they're down to conform. They're down to acquiesce. Now, see, I need y'all to understand this. Because when you conform in the industry that he's in, right? What happens is y'all give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay, we back. We back. My bad, y'all. My bad, my bad. But we're back. And what we're going to do, something that we did in part 1. We're going to go back and we are going to define conformity. We're going to go back to the definition of conformity because I'm going to make it my business to start doing stuff like this so guys can understand what they're actually talking about when they talk about it and what they see or being able to recognize what they're looking at. So it's extremely important that we understand what conformity is. Because some people will say that everyone must conform at some point, which we've got that sentiment in part 1, but This is why we need to define things. So, conformity, compliance with standards, rules, or laws. Then we have the second definition, behavior in accordance with socially accepted conventions or standards. The key here is behavior and socially accepted. So the standards, when you conform to something, you're conforming because it is now the norm. You have to conform in order to be seen to be part of the norm or what people consider normal. This is why when people hear the word conformity, people has gotten so used to just accepting it like it's part of being normal. And it is part of being normal. And do you know who the normal people in society are? Sheep. And you are tuned into Sheep Stay Sleep TV. See, we're not trying to wake up you guys who are willing participants in your own demise. Because you know what you're doing. You're a willing participant. Some people are willing participants unknowingly. Some of them are willing participants knowingly. And today we have a knowingly participant. See, because let's go back to the definition. Behavior in accordance with socially accepted conventions or standards. So, what that means is if you come from a place of poverty, follow me, like Jim Jones, like any rapper, right? You come from having what they would consider nothing. So your whole life, you are trying to fight to get to a place where people can just see you as what? Normal. You see? See, because that's what poverty does to the psyche. It breaks you. And I did a stream about this a while ago where I played on PTSD, and what I did was instead of me, I replaced the P with poverty. Poverty-stricken traumatic disorder. Because that does something to a person's brain. It does something to a person's perspective on life when they grow up poor. When they grow up a have-not. And they're in a world where they turn on their TV every day and they see people who have things. They see people who have things. They see people who are happy with their life on TV. Now, of course, you know, we're grown now, so we understand that TV is not real. But you can't tell a 5-year-old boy that grow up, right? That grow up in, let's say, Hamilton houses in Harlem. You can't tell a little boy that grew up in Drew Hamilton that what he watching on TV is not real. Because that's what all of them aspire to be. And it's not that you aspire to be that person, you aspire to be in that person's position because you want the world to recognize you as being normal. This is how deep this shit goes, y'all. This is how deep this stuff goes. This is how deep it goes. And what happens over time, the more you try to fight conforming to what's normal in the industry that Jim Jones is in, which is the entertainment industry, over time, if you do not know how to leverage your influence and create businesses, over time, the pressure that these record labels are going to put on you is going to get very immense. And what's going to happen over time is you either going to do what Beanie Siegel said in State Property. If y'all remember State Property, put a number 1 in the chat. If y'all remember the movie State Property, put a number 1 in the chat. Shout out to the number 1 grinder. Hey, what's up, Letitia? Good to see you. Okay, y'all saw State Property. I see a couple of ones. Y'all saw State Property. Cool. So, what was the statement of that movie? Shout out to Ricky Webster, man. Appreciate the donation. He says much respect and props due. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, my brother. Respect. That's right, Andre Harris. Get down or lay down. And what did Bean say after that? Get down or lay down. And when you lay down, you do what? You stay down. You see? And when you lay down, you stay down. Now, we could take this into different directions. Because in the movie, it was either you get down with us or we knock your boots off. And once we knock your boots off, you don't need to worry about your boots. You see? But in the industry, it means once you get down, right? By laying down your morals, your principles. Once you lay down, you stay down, meaning now you have access to this money you always wanted. Now you have access. Now doors begin to open up for you. Why? Because you were willing to conform. You were willing to conform. See? This is what they mean by you got to have some skin in the game. You got to have something to lose. They have to know that you are willing to lose a part of you to have access to the riches of the world. This is what they promote to you. This is what they come to you with. If you do what I tell you to do, how I tell you to do it, when I tell you to do it, that will grant you access to the next level in whatever you're trying to do. Because we're in a world where we don't build leaders. What we build is we build what they like to call in school. Remember, used to have monitors. And that's what they create. They create monitors. They don't create leaders. You see? See, I need y'all to understand this. Our rappers were never designed to be leaders. They're monitors. That's what they do. They create these tropes to get us to become sheep, to conform, and then they get paid for it. You see? So a guy like Jim Jones, who doesn't own anything, and when I say that, he's not known for owning anything in Harlem, anywhere. He doesn't have any stores. He doesn't have anything. So a guy like that, you don't have much leverage. You don't have much leverage. You don't really have a leg to stand on. You don't. So you can't hold your nuts in the entertainment industry. Because the moment you try to do that, you will no longer have what it is you want, because you won't have access to it. You'll never be able to get it because you won't have access to it. This is the problem. And what a lot of you guys don't understand, y'all think this whole selling your soul thing is something that people just say, and it's not that. Selling your soul is exactly what Jim Jones did. He conformed. He conformed. That's selling your soul. When there's a price on your integrity. Because what? Let's go back to the definition of conformity. Behavior in accordance with socially accepted conventions or standards. So how you, DS1, you hating. Why? I'm called a hater because it's normal for men to sell themselves. It has become normal for men to prostitute their integrity for money. That has become the norm. That has become normal now. It is socially accepted for men to be hoes. And I'm not talking about no dude that's running around, dropping penis off. I'm talking about a hoe. One that'll do anything for some money. That is socially acceptable now. So when you speak on this as a man, you're a hater. You just mad because he trying to get money. Why? Because I'm going against what is socially accepted. I'm opposing environment. See? And masculinity in society today is deemed what? Toxic. So you're a hater, DS1. How dare you? He just trying to feed his family. What you expect? I know. It's okay for men to be hoes. I know. I get it. But this is why I talk to men. You see? This is why I talk to men. Because a man knows he's not supposed to do no shit like that. And when you begin to see men, especially guys like Jimmy, you know, guys who people thought was actually tough and rugged, and you know, he gives off this persona as if I'm outside. That's his favorite word. He outside. Right? He outside. You see, he's following these tropes. He's promoting these things that he's not standing on. He's standing on the total opposite. This is why you can see him do this. After years of being a New York City blood, how was this accepted? I wonder how the homies feel. Not my homies, but the homies. I wish one of my mans come in the chat too, so I can ask them how the homies feel about Jimmy wearing a goddamn blouse. Is he gonna get kicked out the whip? Or did he just set a precedent for all you other little blood homies who want to come up in the game? And the reason why I'm saying this is because Jim Jones, in the music business, through the music business, he put the New York Bloods on the map. Through his music, he has made the New York City Bloods the most popular. You can't be no blood from nowhere else and think you're not gonna come to New York and see and meet them bloods because of Dipset, because of Jim Jones, because of Jim Jones. But as we know, Jim Jones' homies is in prison. Them dudes that was with 6ix9ine and them, that's Jim Jones and them. That's Jim Jones' homies. You see? So I wonder how they feel about him putting on a goddamn purple see-through blouse. Look, it's see-through, y'all. Look, it's see-through. And look at his face. Look. Just look at his facial expressions. And as you can see, you see the hangers behind him. So he's probably at a fashion show. As you can see, some stylist has brought this out for Jimmy to wear. Look at this. Shout out to Joel Benjamin on the check-in. Salute, my brother. But do you see this? So this is why, see, I understand why people say what they say, because I understand conformity. Oh, DS1, man, you doing too much, man. That's a fashion show. Well, let's say the same thing about Young Thug then. Let's say the same thing about Gunna. If it's just fashion. But who's the fashion designers? You see? You're not going to get me with this, oh, he's a model. And no, you're not going to get me with that. You're not going to get me with that, because Jim Jones could have became a model. He could have done that. And just because you're a male model don't mean you have to look effeminate. See, we're not going to play them games. See, because what this is a direct depiction of conformity. This is a direct depiction of a dude who tried to keep his morals and principles, but that shit kept him broke. And see, this is why people are against what I say on this channel. Because they think a man who holds steadfast to his morals and principles is broke, or he deserves to be broke, or he will be broke. He'll never accomplish nothing in this world, because we're in a world where what? We are taught to be sheep. That is the world that we live in. That is how the so-called powers that be, that is how they stay in power. That is how they stay sextillionaires and trillionaires. See, because if Jay-Z's a billionaire, if Puffy's a billionaire, if Dr. Dre is a billionaire, what is Leo Cohen? If Dr. Dre is a billionaire, then what is Paul Rosenberg? What are those guys? Jimmy Iovine. What are those guys? And what do they pay these guys to do? To make the music to keep the masses asleep. That's what they do. That's what they do. I told y'all this a long time ago. These entertainers are nothing but mascots. That's what they are. It's the same shit that was on a plantation. It's just on a stage. It's the same thing. Entertain master. That's what you do. You have someone who writes your script and you follow it. But what does that do to the people who partake in the music? It puts them to sleep. It begins to tell men that it's okay for you to leverage yourself for material possessions. You see? So Jimmy ain't telling dudes to sell work no more. He telling dudes to wear a goddamn blouse. He ain't telling you to be a gangster blood and we popping and we doing this and we doing that. He not telling you that no more, because he don't want to go to the feds. You see? You see how this works? You see? See, let's not forget that point. The feds is on Jimmy's ass. Hope you know that. Who you think run the hip-hop industry? The hip-hop police. Who do you think the hip-hop police is? The feds. And what do you think Jimmy is running from? A federal indictment. So there's certain things you're going to see Jim Jones do now that is going to be weird, because he don't want to go to jail. You see, Jimmy doesn't want to go to jail. So Jimmy, we got something for you, buddy. You see, Jimmy, you owe us money, Jimmy. That's the last thing he wants to do, is to owe these people money. Because if he owes them money, they can make a phone call and get his ass arrested. And they'll trump up some charges and he'll be in the feds. And then they'll come on the news and tell us that they just busted Jim Jones, that he's been watched, and all of this other shit. So what Jimmy's doing anything to stay on the streets. Jimmy's trying to stay on the streets. And when street cats do their best to stay on the streets, what do they have to do to stay on the streets? Conform. Conform. I didn't say Jim Jones was a snitch. He conformed to certain things. So now he has to go deeper into being a rapper. All that street shit, he got to move away from, because it's going to take him away from his family. So now he has to go full industry. Oh yeah, I know that, bro. I know we not rocking with that. He has to move away from the gangster persona. That's why you see Jimmy dancing more. We set the trends, getting it in. He did a song with the Migos. We set the trends, getting it in. You ain't never see Jim Jones dancing. Jimmy was too gangster. He was too gangster. But see, what Jimmy never learned to do, that Cam learned to do, he learned to adjust. So he never had to conform. So he could still be Killer Cam. See, Jim never learned that. Jim never learned that. He never learned that. So now he's forced to conform. Shout out to Alonzo Hall. Salute, my brother. Now he's forced to. We set the trends, getting it in. He all in there dancing, all in the camera. Now he has to be a rapper. Something he never really wanted to be. Jimmy wanted to be a gangster. He wanted to be a street boss. That's why his name is Capo. That's why his name is Capo. Why do you think his name is Capo? That's a street boss. But now, here's your Capo. This is what the Capo's doing. We set the trends, getting it in. We set the trends, getting it in. That song is trash, by the way. That whole album, him and Make, that shit is garbage. Straight garbage. Straight garbage. We don't want to hear 50-year-old men act like they 20. We don't. But this is what happens when you don't learn to adjust. You have to conform. Now, we set the trends, getting it in. Look at him now. Now you got to wear the blouse. You want to go in the Gucci store and make yourself look like a goddamn idiot and pull stunts? Good. See, why do you think you've been seeing all this stuff going on surrounding Jim Jones? He was preparing y'all for this. Why are y'all surprised? Why are y'all surprised? Remember in part one, here's part one. Remember, I told y'all. It went from the suit to the what? To the dress. But before you get to the dress, you do this. We set the trends, getting it in. You put on a blouse. You wear a blouse. Remember before Thug started wearing dresses, he was wearing blouses. Young Thug, remember? Remember that. Before Thug started wearing dresses, right? And he made black rich men who come from the ghetto, he made that shit popular. Young Thug. Young Thug. He made that whole attire popular. Thug. Why you think all the basketball players who dress weird like that, they listen to Thug. They listen to Gunna. YSL slimes. The slimes. We slime. But you're dressing like a goddamn woman. I know you're slimy. I know you're slimy, boy. I know you're slimy. You're wearing dresses. I know you're slimy. Oh, I know. I know what symbolism is. I know when you say certain things, how it can mean other things. We slime. I know you slimy. I bet you are. You got that little ass dress on with your ass out. Oh, we know. We know you slime. We know. We not slipping over here because this is Sheep Stay Sleep TV. We're visionaries over here. We know what's going on. We can see behind the veil. And if you can't, the more you tune in, you'll learn to. You'll learn to. But it starts with you not wanting to conform. You see? You wanting to remain unapologetically you. You see? Every time. So guess what? If you're not willing to conform, there's certain things that are afforded to people in this life that you're going to have to work extra hard for. It may take you longer to get to the destination that you want to get to because you're not willing to conform. You're not willing to do this. Wear a goddamn lavender, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, on the shade of purple. But if I'm not mistaken, that's lavender. This man has on a lavender blouse and it's see-through. So you can see his nipples. Pay attention. We set the trends. Getting it in. We set the trends. What trend are you setting, Jimmy? We set the trends. Getting it in. What trend are you setting, Jimmy? What trend you setting now? Because we know what trend you set the first time. You made it cool for everybody to be a goddamn blood. That's what you made cool. 98, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. You made it cool to be a blood. Dipset. Blah, 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 blah. You made it cool to be a gangster and a blood, Jimmy. So now, what trend are you setting now? Because to be a blood back then on the streets, if you didn't turn blood in them prisons, you were part of a trend. You're a trendy gang member. You're trendy. That's why a lot of these guys, when they go up in them prisons, they're nobody. They're nothing. Because you was part of the trend. We set the trends. Getting it in. Now what trend is he setting for the Bloods? The East Coast Bloods. The New York Bloods. What trend are you setting now, Jimmy? You didn't put purple in your hair like the little rainbow Mexican boy. You know, like the little rainbow Taco Bell dog, aka 6ix9ine. You didn't change the color of your hair, but you changed your clothing. We set the trends, getting it in. What you telling these young homies to do now? Show they nipples? Huh? You telling them to wear see-through clothing now? That's what you're doing? Oh, that's the trend you setting. We could just go full Hollywood now, right? Some shit that's about brotherly love, not about getting commercial money. But see, that is what Jim Jones did. He commercialized gangbanging on the East Coast. That's what he did. He set the trends. Listen, that's why I keep saying it. I'm not just saying it to make y'all laugh, but I'm saying it to get it in your mind of what he actually done. Because Jim Jones is a Dipset is they're trendsetters. And Jim Jones is the main, he is the gangster component. He's the gangster component. You see? He made all the young boys in Brooklyn and Uptown want to be a blood. He made dudes want to be blood. See? He can't do that no more because he'll go to jail. It's called the RICO charge. That's what it's called. It's called the gang indictment. See, he can't do that no more. So now he got to set the trend. Now I'm going to lead the homies somewhere else. They in jail. I got to redirect them now to the industry. And the industry is full of feds too. But the feds is not worried about a guy like this. We set the trends, getting it in. See? The feds are not worried about guys who dressing like this. They worry about guys who dress like this. See, this is how the young boys dressing. They worry about these guys. See, Lil B Love? That's who they worry about. They worry about the guys who dress like this. See? That's who they worry about. They worry about these guys. See Fabio? They worry about these guys, the guys who dress like this. That's who they worried about. They not worried about this. They worry about this. They worry about these guys. The men who dress like this, not like this. See, because once they see you're willing to do this, they know you're willing to conform. Because to conform is to be non-threatening. Sheep are not threatening. See, we set the trends, getting it in. But this is what happens when men conform. This is what happens. Man, all that integrity shit don't mean nothing. All that shit don't mean nothing. See, whenever you hear a man say that, he don't stand on no morals and it's not about principles and all. You are dealing with him. You're dealing with a man like this. You're dealing with a Jim Jones archetype. That's who you're dealing with. You're dealing with a person who's willing to become a sheep so he can have access to the riches of the world. You see? See, because you can't be you can't be no stand-up man. No. No. We have to put you in a compromising position. See, because we have to trust the fact that one day you don't wake up and see the program. This is why we pay you the way we pay you. Fuck the truth. We're paying you to say fuck the truth. That's why we pay you. We pay you to say fuck your masculinity and your manhood. That's why we pay you. You go be a man in your house. You don't have to show every other man you a man like we do. Like the powers that be does. See, because they don't have a problem showing the Ukraine who the man with the biggest nuts are, who not going to bend and who not going to fold, will make you fold before that. See? See, they're not going to conform because they don't have to. Because what do they have to lose? They're not losing no money. They're not losing no business. And they're not losing their integrity. They're not losing nothing. But see, when you come from a space of poverty, they use that as a way to leverage their control over you. Oh, well, you can't pay your bills. You broke. So you need me. And if you want me to deal with you, you got to do what I tell you. And the way I tell you to do it. So we're going to test Jimmy. We're going to see if Jimmy passes the test. So what did they do? They came out and brought him a rack of goddamn dresses and shit. This is what they did. Look, you see the hangers behind him. So you know I'm not exaggerating. Look, it's behind him. It's there. They brought him a whole layout of some effeminate shit. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, we love your new song. We set the trends, getting it in. We love that, Jimmy. Great song. So we have some new designers coming out, and we wanted to see how would you feel about these brands and these fits, Jimmy? You know, we know you're a rock star, and you know we know you're outside, Mr. Jim Jones. But how do you feel about this? How do we feel about this? What do you think? Oh man, you know, it's cool. You know, I'm not really opposed to, you know, the LGBTQ. You know, I don't take any offense to you guys. Oh wow, Jimmy, really? I didn't know that, Jimmy. I was kind of scared when I first came in here. Wow, we have some great pieces for you. We have some great pieces for you. And knowing Jimmy, nah, man, I don't know about that, but you know, I could sacrifice. I could sacrifice. You know, I'll wear the blouse. I'll wear the blouse. You know, let me keep my wife beat on. I'll wear the blouse. We set the trends, getting it in. Tell them to call my accountant. Listen to the song. It's about money. We set the trends, getting it in. So now what he's telling these young brothers is you got to leverage your integrity for this bag if you want to get off the streets, homie. You want to get off the streets? You tired of doing street shit? You better get up in this industry and show your nipples. Better show your nipples, boy. All that gang shit is over. You're going to jail. You care where you're from. Your gang, you're going to the feds. You want the proof of that? There's a channel on YouTube. Shout out to End the Sentence. Y'all go and watch that channel. All these black men going to jail. Gang. Federal indictments left and right. Whole crews going to jail. It ain't just happened in New York with 6ix9ine and them. No, it's going on in Florida. It's going on in Texas. It's going on in Chicago. It's going on in Memphis. It's going on everywhere. See? Because now it's time to set a new trend. You see? If you're going to be a shepherd. See, that's what Jimmy is. Jimmy's a shepherd. He's a shepherd. That's what these rappers are. They're shepherds. That's what they do. They walk you in to the slaughter. They walk you right into the slaughterhouse. And then they go home, to their family with a bag of money at the expense of your life. You see? Jimmy's been doing it for years. He's been doing it for years. You think he always stayed out in the street? You think he always maintained to be on the streets, but all his homies in jail? You see? You see? And Jim Jones was never able to accumulate the prestige and the wealth because he always had to bail his homies out. You see? Because he wanted to be capo. You see? He wanted to be capo. And when you want to be capo, which is a street boss, you got to make sure your team is good. So when somebody get locked up, you got to bail them out. You capo. You're the capo. You see? See, Cam is the boss. Cam's the boss. That's why Jim did all that gang shit, and you didn't see Cameron around none of them dudes. You'll never find a picture with Cameron and any of them dudes. You know why? Because that's the capo. That's his crew. That's his crew. That's capo. That's his homies. You see? And now that you can't feed your team off of street shit no more, so that means you can't eat off street shit no more. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? You set a new trend. You see? He's following the Young Thug route. That's what he's doing. He's following Thugger. That's how you do it. You see? And you feed the team now or for being effeminate. That's how you feed the team. You see how this works? And then what do? You get you some other little guys that come up under you who does the same shit. That's what Young Thug is doing. He has done. You think Gunna is? Gunna is part of YSL. The slimes. Everybody want to be a slime. Yeah. But you gotta wear funny shit. You gotta wear shit like this. When you're sliming, you gotta dress like the Migos. See? This is the kind of stuff you have to wear. Why? Because we set the trends. We getting it in. I'm about to call my accountant and make sure that shit came in. You see? See how this works? See how they get men to conform? You want to buy a Louis bag that bad for your woman that you will wear this. You want to keep buying them Chanel bags that bad, nigga? Your woman needs Chanel that bad? Huh? Huh? You don't want to stop. She can't feel the effects of what happens to you. You'll do anything to make sure Chrissy keep wearing red bottoms, huh, Jimmy? What do little Pootie thinks? Your son. What do he think about you wearing a goddamn see-through blouse with your nipples out? What do Pootie think about this, Jimmy? Huh? You know they clowning him at school, right, Jimmy? You know they clowning him, right? Because you was just a certified gangster. You know what? We certified gangsters. I'm a B-side, bye-bye, B-side, bye-bye. Now it's, we set the trends, getting it in. You went from certified gangster to wearing blouses. How does this happen? How does this happen? How does this happen? Conformity. Behavior in accordance with socially accepted conventions or standards. Synonyms: conventionality, traditionalism, orthodoxy, orthodoxy. You don't think this is kind of unorthodox, Jimmy? Let's keep reading the synonyms. Fitting in. Sheep. Following the crowd. Sheep. Running with the pack. Sheep, not running with a pack, but the pack. Swimming with the stream. We set the trends. Getting it in. Following the stream. The stream of what? Income. So you're going to follow that wave. You're going to follow that trend. So we could get it in. So we can call our accountants and make sure that bag drop. He telling you. We set the trends. Getting it in. He telling you. He telling you why he wears dresses now. He's telling you why. because he need to call his accountant and make sure that money came in. Because he's capo and he got to keep feeding his homies that's in jail. You see? And if he don't feed them dudes in jail, he's food. He's food. And then everything we didn't know about Jimmy will come out. See how this works? He has to keep feeding his team because he's capo. So how your homies in jail? How's your underboss, Mel Matrix? He's the underboss. How is your underboss starving? Can't you got to make sure he's eating up there. Got to make sure he's okay. Got to make sure his accountant, you got to make sure he could call his accountant to make sure that shit came in. That's what Mel Matrix got to do. So if you don't make sure your account is full, Mel Matrix account won't be full. You see how this works? You see how this works, y'all? You see what happens when you don't learn to adjust? Then you have to conform. Then you have to go against your morals. See, Jim Jones was always an outlaw. He was always an outlaw. He was always a freelancer. You see? When he was crying on the Breakfast Club, y'all remember that, right? Y'all could just type it up on YouTube. Jim Jones cries on the Breakfast Club. And I'm not crying because I'm not laughing because the man was crying. I'm laughing because just how he looked crying. But you could go back and you can see it for yourself. Just listen to what he was saying. He was the one who made sure everybody was safe. That's what he did. He was the rebel. He was the outlaw. He was the one who said, we're going to make it regardless. We're going to be all right. He was that guy. He was never the industry guy. He never was. But he never learned to adjust. He never learned to adjust. Never did. His girl is a street chick. Chrissy is from the streets. Anybody from New York that knows anything, she's from the streets. She's for the streets. She's always been for the streets. Okay? She's always been for the streets. That's a well-known fact. So with you being a rebel and an outlaw on your Tupac shit, because if you go back and listen to Jim Jones' first album, On My Way to Church, he on his Tupac Hail Mary shit. He was on that Tupac 7-Day Theory shit. That's why we love Jim. Because Jim was an outlaw. He was a rebel. He brought that rebel energy. That energy that was going to buck against the system. See? You see? Because to love your brother is to buck against the system. You got to understand that. You got to understand that. To show brotherly love, that's bucking the system. To show community revolution and progress, to show that you're here to fix your community, that's bucking against the system. And that's how Jim rolled around for years, brotherly love. He made sure his brothers wasn't oppressed. They got money. They was able to live and do things and go on tour and see a better life. You see? He's always been that guy. But what does that grant you? That doesn't grant you access that these other guys have access to. And over time, you run out of money. And when you run out of money, but you still in the industry, you got to come back and you got to pay. Got to pay the piper because you always got to pay to play. It's how it works. Just like you got to pay to play in the streets. You might pay with your life. You might pay with your freedom. You got to pay to play in this game. Here's his way. We set the trends, getting it in. He's paying. He's letting them know, okay, I'm willing to play the game the way y'all want me to play it. I'm broke now. There's nowhere else Jim Jones can go because he never learned to adjust. He never learned how to adjust. This is what happens when you lack systems, order, and structure. You see? He didn't establish that amongst him and his guys. And when I say him and his guys, I'm not talking about a gang, because you got to remember those guys were part of a record label, Bird Gang Records. He didn't tell these guys, listen, enough of that street shit. We're going to do this music. I need you guys with me in the music game. Forget that street shit. And see, Jim never established that. He never established that with those guys. This is why they were left to continue to do street shit while he living in Jersey, buying Chanel bags for Chrissy A money, going broke. Now look what he has to do. He has to conform. And times has changed. So the things that are socially accepted now are different. Y'all give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, we back. We back. So yeah, we have to understand that if you go back to the early 2000s, mid 2000s, when Jim first came out, the things that were socially accepted then, or socially acceptable, socially acceptable, are no longer socially acceptable. Okay? Masculinity has been phased out throughout the 2000s. They started phasing it out with the skinny jean. They started phasing it out with the skinny jeans. Now, I'm not saying dudes supposed to be walking around here with baggy clothes, because of course, when we wore all the baggy stuff, that was a trend too. That was a trend that we followed. Well, it wasn't a trend for me because I just always been a big nigga. So me wearing big clothes wasn't for me. I wasn't wearing baggy clothes. I was wearing my size. Now my homies, they was wearing jerseys that I could fit when they was really wearing. They were basically wearing 2-3 sizes bigger. See, they really are extra large. They wearing a 3-4X. See what I'm saying? Because that is what was socially accepted. What came and wiped that out was the skinny jeans. Skinny jeans. And now they don't want They know that men in skinny jeans is weird. So what they did in the black community was they said, we're not wearing skinny jeans. We're wearing fitted jeans. Oh, no, these ain't skinny jeans. My jeans could just fit. These are fitted. To do what? To make it socially acceptable. To make it a social convention or a standard. Now that's the standard to wear skinny jeans. Even dudes my size. You know you wear size 44, 46. Why are you wearing a 40? Why are you trying to fit your fat ass in a 38? Because what? We set the trends. Getting it in. That's why. Because it's what? It's socially acceptable. So we don't care if you're 300 pounds and you're trying to squeeze your ass into some little pants. We don't care about that because it's socially acceptable. Your jeans just better not be baggy. Because if your jeans are baggy, you're a bum. See? If your jeans are baggy, you're broke. You see? See how this works? When you wear your size, oh, you broke. You see how this works? You got the skinny jeans on. Oh, he must got money. Girl, he got on. Girl, look at his jeans. He got on 7 jeans. Oh, he must got money. He got on a Mary jeans. He must got money. Because what? It goes back to what? Conformity. Behavior in accordance with socially accepted conventions or standards. Running with the pack. Swimming with the stream. Following the crowd. Fitting in. Fitting in. So they set the trend to get you to feel good about fitting in. And then you same dudes who live your life trying to fit in will get up here and cry. Man, these women, I'm not like these other dudes. These women think I'm the same. Yes, you are the same. Number one, because you look the same. You wonder why these women think you're just like the rest of these suckers, these sap suckers, because you are. Number one, because you dress like them. You see? You're dressing like them. You're dressing like them. You're dressing like them. You see? You're not willing to hold your masculine frame and be true to thyself. I don't wear skinny jeans. I'm not squeezing my ass in no jeans. The only people who squeeze their asses in jeans are women. I don't give a damn about fitting in. I don't give a damn about being with the crowd. Oh, he cute. Look at his jacket. I don't care about that shit. Because I get compliments being myself. Oh, he got on the Marys with the Kanyes. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Because when it's time to blow your back out, shorty, I'm not going to have on Yeezys. I'm not going to have on these tight ass pants that I felt I had to squeeze my ass in to get some ass. I'm going to be naked. Or with my boxers on. Boxer briefs. Not briefs. Stop wearing briefs, men. Stop wearing briefs. You see? I don't care about that. And no man cares about that. We talk about men. We don't care about that. We don't care about a trend and fitting in. Because a man knows that all he have in his world is his balls and his word. And that's what he gonna die with. He ain't gonna die with a Mary Jeans. He not gonna die with none of that goofy shit. He gonna die a man. And a man is respected and remembered by what he stood on and what he stood against. Now the question is what you stand against. Do you stand against this shit? Or don't you? Or you just trying to fit in and get a bag? Do you stand against this shit? Because that's what manhood is about. That's what it's about. But this is what happens when men conform. You see certified gangsters like Jim Jones wearing a goddamn blouse. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate everyone for pulling up to today's show. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share today's show. Salute to my brother Po Boy Films for coming through. I see you, my brother. Shout out to Lionette. I appreciate you. She said Chrissy was Alpo ex-girlfriend. You see? I told y'all Chrissy was for the streets. See, I didn't want to put that out there. Shout out to you, Lionette. But I didn't want to put that out there because, you know, I'm not really into discussing that type of stuff on here. Like, I'm not that type of channel. You know, y'all may hear me, you know, put a couple of things out there, sprinkle a couple of things, but I'm not that type of channel. So I didn't want to put that out there. But I'm glad you said that, Lionette, and that's the truth. She was. That's why I said that's why I just left it as she's a street chick. But exactly, Lionette, and I appreciate the super chat, mamas. Shout out to Toya in the building. Shout out to you, Toya. What up, Mocha? Good to see you. I see you in a minute. Good to see you. Spicy Trail in the building. Shout out to everyone. I appreciate y'all for pulling up to today's show. Joe Farrow. Salute, Joe Farrow. Salute my man Andre Harris in the building. Shout out to everyone for coming through to today's show. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share today's show. If you enjoyed today's show, the Cash App is going across the screen. Don't hesitate to donate to today's show. Shout out to everyone who has donated. If you hit the Cash App, if you hit the Super Chat, much love. I appreciate your donations. But most importantly, I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share the show. And if y'all haven't yet, and there's a lot of y'all that haven't hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you notify every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Much love, Miss Angie, always coming through and holding down the chat. Much love, much love. No, it's all good, Lionette. It's all good. I'm glad you said it. You know, you are a supporter of the show, and I appreciate it. I'm just not gonna say it. You know, but I appreciate that, Lionette, and I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate your super chat. Shout out to everyone once again for coming through. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to all you visionaries for coming through. Much love to all you guys, man. Y'all stay safe out there. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, brothers, we are our own agency. We are our own agency. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace. We set the trends. Getting it in. Fuck out of here.